Mr. Harrison is Embarrassin, Chapter 9. When all the kids realized that elementary was missing, they stopped crying and yelling and screaming and freaking out. Everybody was worried about Mrs. Mentry. "I'm sure the lights will be back on any moment, and we'll find Mrs. Mentry," said Mr. Klutz. "For now, I need everyone to stay calm." "Calm? Who can stay calm when all the lights are out, and the 90-year-old lady the school is named after has disappeared?" "Ella?" the teachers were all saying. "Where are you, Mrs. Mentry?" "She was right here a minute ago," said Mrs. Coco, the gifted and talented teacher. "I saw her standing there." "Maybe she went to the bathroom," said Mr. Docker, the science teacher. "Maybe she's hiding," suggested Mrs. Yonkers. "Yoo-hoo," said Miss Laney. "Mrs. Mentry, come out, wherever you are." "This is a tragedy," said Mr. Klutz. "How do you lose a 90-year-old lady?" "Well, she's pretty tiny," said Mrs. Jaffe. "She could be anywhere." "We have to find her," said Mayor Hubble. "If anything happens to Mrs. Mentry, the voters are going to blame me for it on election day." All the grown-ups were upset. Well, all the grown-ups were except for one, that news reporter, Mrs. Lilly. "Now I have a story," she said excitedly. "I can see the headline. Ex-teacher Ella Mentry vanishes into thin air. Police are baffled. Finally, I'll have the scoop I've been waiting for my whole life." "Why don't you just go to a store and buy a scoop?" I asked. Mr. Harrison lit all the candles on the cake again, and now we could see a little. "Mr. Klutz," he said, "I think I know where Mrs. Mentry might be." "Where?" "She may have wandered down to the basement," Mr. Harrison said, "but to get her, I'm going to need some little people." "Why?" asked Mr. Klutz. "I think she fell in a hole," said Mr. Harrison. "She fell in a hole," somebody yelled. "She fell on a hoe?" somebody else yelled. "She flew in a hotel?" somebody else yelled. Everybody was yelling out all kinds of crazy stuff that had nothing to do with falling in a hole. "You say you need some little people," Mr. Klutz asked. "How little?" "First graders and second graders might be too little," said Mr. Harrison. "Fourth and fifth graders might be too big. I need some third graders." "I volunteer," shouted Ryan, Michael, and Neil the nude kid. "We do too," said me and Alexa. "I want to help find Mrs. Mentry too," said Andrea, who always wants to help grown-ups so they'll like her. Then, of course, Emily volunteered because she does everything Andrea does. "Good," said Mr. Harrison. "Each of you come up here and take a piece of cake with a candle on it. We'll use the candles to light our way until the lights come back on. You won't see me." "We get to have cake?" said Ryan, who was always thinking about eating. "Cool. Follow me, kids," said Mr. Harrison.